Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. If you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. If you're looking to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. This nose and ear trimmer uses 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Then, after trimming the pumpkin patch and whacking the leaves, give your balls a boost and use Crop Reviver. Once again, get 20% off free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Age of Radio.
Ichiro-san!
Takahashi, we're back from the dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The rumors of our demise have been greatly exaggerated or something like that.
Yeah, we only got a couple of scraped knees, folks.
It's fine. We're fine. So I've been thinking for our next project.
What were you thinking?
That's right. I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking.
Okay.
Is that for our next project that we head into like a more spiritual direction. Okay.
Okay.
Don't think me weird or getting all preachy and whatnot on you there, but I've been reading a lot of that Bible thing.
Oh, okay. It's a Jesus thing. I get it.
Yeah, just a minute now.
All right.
I'm thinking if we could take that, because everyone always says it's the greatest story ever told.
Yep.
That we could
everyone
make it the even betterest story ever told.
Mm-hmm.
By putting like a quasi post-apocalyptic steampunky type spin on it.
Steampunk works 100% of the time, all the time, every time, no failures at all.
Never. It's huge with the kids right now.
Yep.
And I think that we could get that there that lunky-headed dude, the Vin gasoline.
Oh, unleaded diesel. Yeah.
Right, that's the chap. And we get him,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we can do some filming in Russia, because I think we could get some good tax credits over there. The government is just abysmal. I mean, really, we could take advantage of that.
May I suggest casting a real Russian actor?
No, you may not.
Okay.
But I do have the number of Gerard Depardieu. French is pretty close.
It's the same mass of land.
Right, exactly. Well, kind of. Europe, Asia, but
Eurasia, that's a thing. We nailed it.
It is. So let's not split the hairs and whatnot.
Okay.
So what we could do is we could get, this girl who's probably about, a foot and a half shorter than him and quite possibly looking an awful in the statutory range in regards to him to be his love interest /Virgin Mary.
Okay.
And I got, I guess a hyphenated word and a regular word for you there. Kung Fu Nun.
Okay, and can I suggest another non-Russian actor?
Certainly.
Charlotte Rampling.
You know what? I think we could squeeze her in there. Didn't Vin Diesel teach her how to play Dungeons and Dragons or something?
I think that's the other old dame.
Oh, okay.
And she is a dame, hey!
She is. So we got that. We got that kind of... That's a good situation there. We got Gerard Depardieu. We got this, Rampling chick. Now, and just to be safe, in case, we get the sequelize, but Vin doesn't see like he wants to do it, we've got a backup plan. Come on in here.
I'm here for the sequel, bitch. Babylon AD, State of the Vatican.
When I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
All right, hello, and welcome to What Were They Thinking, a podcast about bad to questionable movies. I am Nathan, and with me, as always, my trusty co-host. Well, introduce yourself there, Slappy.
Well, I think you just did it for me. But my name is.
No, I didn't.
Is,
Didn't say your name.
Oh, I thought you said Slappy.
Well, that's it's your safe word nickname.
Don't tell everyone. My name is Brendan, and I have all the questions this week.
He certainly does. And this week, we are looking at one of the most confusing Vin Diesel movies, and that's saying a lot. And so we certainly couldn't tackle such a confusing source all our own, so we had to bring in a co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the home video hustle, Brent.
I just get brought on for all the best movies, though. Now, this is my punishment back from Brendan for y'all watching from Justin and Kelly, ain't it?
I mean,
I get caught in the crossfire of all these things.
to be fair,
fair.
I had no idea what this movie was going to be.
Who picked this?
I did.
Oh, okay. So Nate, I was like, who picked it?
I picked it. It was me.
So when it was picked, I thought, hey, let's get Brent, not knowing anything about the quality of this movie, just knowing that it was a Vin Diesel futuristic something or other.
Plot.
This movie, I'm gonna try to give out the plot points before we really get rolling in here.
Good
but it's...
luck.
Please do, because I need help.
So, Ishiro and Takahashi kind of had it right in that this is very, very loosely based on the story of Mary's journey from up to Jerusalem from Nazareth. In that, if you ate paint chips, took a bunch of LSD, and then hit your head off the coffee table, and then tried to retell that story, this is what you'd get. Vin Diesel is a mercenary who is hired by this religious organization to transport a girl from a monastery to New York, which is apparently... You know what? It's weird because you would think they'd be going to, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I mean, just to get it right on the nose. But they're going to... New York, which I guess is where we get the Babylon thing, because a lot of people, I don't know, man, I really don't.
You starting off by saying this is a movie about a guy who has to transport a girl from a convent or from a monastery to New
convent,
York.
Sorry, not monastery.
To New York. There, people are like, wait, what?
Yeah. And of course, he has to smuggle her in human trafficking style because he is apparently a wanted terrorist in the U.S. So he, of course, has to go through all these, black market back channels to sneak across the border to get to New York, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah,
sounds like a great movie.
I was laughing most of the time just out of sheer confusion about what was transpiring on the screen 99% of the time.
There's a lot of parts in this movie that really do live up to the name of our podcast.
Yeah. So I want to, before you get into the plot, I did want to mention that I knew we were off to a red flag of a start because I tried to watch this movie on Disney Plus, which is what it's on in Canada.
What?
Well, it's like the
Yeah.
Star thing.
It's on
or
the
whatever.
Stars
Oh,
channel.
I
On
forgot
Disney
y'all
Plus.
have that. That's right.
So it's basically Hulu for Canada. But I was like, I opened the PS5 and selected it, and I had the subtitles on because I like watching movies with subtitles. And they didn't come on, and I was like, oh. And then I tried to watch something else, and the subtitles were fine. So I was like, that's odd. Played it on my Roku, subtitles working fine. So already I'm like, no one watched this enough to point it out to the technical team. And no one's taken a second look at fixing the subtitles on this movie.
I should have thought to do that because Vin Diesel's character in this movie is such a point of confusion for me that I had to wait until the end to read how his name was spelled in the credits to understand what they were calling him through the entire movie.
Did you think they were calling him Turok too?
I thought they were calling him Turok. I thought they were calling him Tulok. I thought they were calling Tuluk. I thought pretty sure the girl at one point called him something that was not even remotely close to his name.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Oh, she was like Roppy or something like that, and it was like, what the his.
By the way, guys, spoiler alert: if this movie really wanted to nail it on the head, his name should have been Joseph.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Or some variation, right?
Yeah, Joey or something stupid like that.
Just Joe. There you go.
That's what that Nick Cage movie's about, right?
Joe. That's Joe.
Oh, wrestling reference got it in.
I was just about to say it, yeah.
So
yeah.
right away, my notes, I was sober, but they're still confusing me. We have this thing where Vin Diesel's talking about save the planet. I always heard save the planet. Because this is where we're talking. He's talking at the very first, because this is one of those movies that starts at a point and then flashes back. So anytime that he's in peril to be killed, you know he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we, at some point in the movie, you're going to be like, this is where we came in. And,
well, he does say that this is going to be the day he dies, though. So you're like, well, of course he's not going to.
And it's that American Beauty.
Oh no, but I just mean like in American
Spoilers.
Beauty, yes, but yeah, spoiler alert for a 22-year-old movie. No, but in this movie, it's a dumb action movie. So as soon as he says like I'm gonna die today, you're like, no, you're not. Shut up. Vin Diesel died in like Saving Private Ryan, and that's about it.
Yeah. I did find during the opening credits, it was cool that the RZA apparently had a hand in doing the music, or helping with the music in this movie.
The opening song is great, but it does not fit the movie.
Yeah.
This whole opening credits is like, it's like a Zack Snyder film because it's in the rain and there's slow motion.
Yeah, and he is going to like this weird bizarre, and I don't mean bizarre and like crazy, but like a place where you buy stuff, an open air market. And he's trying to he's trying to find this guy who apparently sold him a gun that didn't work, but he sold him the gun that didn't work for $20. What the hell did you expect?
What were you thinking?
I mean, honestly, a gun, a registered regular handgun, now, not in Babylon AD, which is not a year. Now it's you're looking at a couple of $100 in the States. I'm guessing we don't, handguns are heavily restricted here in Canada, but
about $250 at least.
Brand new, clean, out of a store, right? If you're gonna buy it on the black market, you're looking at north of like $500 to maybe $1,000 depending on what you want. He bought a gun for $20 and is upset that it didn't work.
It's like that Guy Ritchie movie. It just says replica on the side of it.
Yes, that's the end of Snatch, isn't it?
Is it Snatch? I always get that confused with Lock, Stock. It's the British one that he did. What were you going to say, Brent?
The British gangster one.
Now, listen, did you see where this supposedly takes place at?
Just some Russian place.
And on the screen it says New Serbia.
Oh,
New Serbia.
So it's
It's a
a
new
Serbian
Serbian
film.
But this is a new Serbian film, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the PG-13 sequel to it.
weirdest follow-up ever.
Vin Diesel just fucking somebody kid.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves at the end of the movie, okay?
Oh shit! It is a Serbian film. That's right.
Oh my god.
So after he has his tete-a-tete with his $20 gun dealer, he goes and buys some rabbit from a nice Serbian Russian lady.
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't know.
It was
I thought it was a
rabbit,
big ass
yeah.
squirrel, like a mutant squirrel or some shit. So I was like, he making squirrel melts in the house.
Well, I had to rewind it because I saw the big bunny ears, and that's the only reason I knew. But also, like, in the future, we all have bicycle locks on our doors.
Yeah, fuck it.
Sure, why not?
That's what it
I
was.
mean, I mean, think about it. I mean, apparently guns are so like $20. You expect a $20 gun to work? Why wouldn't everybody just have bicycle locks for their door locks?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's bicycle thieves everywhere, Brendan.
Oh, wow. Did you just reference the Italian movie, The Bicycle Thieves?
Yes, I did actually.
It's far too classy for this
I was about to say,
episode.
smart jokes.
Hashtag it.
So Vin, he's making up some delicious rabbit stew, but he doesn't really get to enjoy it because a bunch of other mercenaries crash through his front door, led by Carl. He apparently isn't taking a whole lot of mercenary jobs because this little discussion back and forth, we find out that he is a mercenary, and this Carl fella is a mercenary too, although Vin Diesel doesn't feel that he is a mercenary because he's spineless and gives up who hired him so quickly. And that is our friend Gorski, who we will meet in a few moments in his tank limo, played by none other than my father, the hero, Bogus himself, Gerard Depardieu.
When I found it, I didn't even realize that was him at first. I was just like, oh, this Russian dude. And then when I found out it was Gerard Depardieu, I was like, what? What? Why? Why is this very well-known French actor playing this like Russian gangster?
This was a Studio Canal production, though, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's what they said at the beginning. Oh, that's right.
I'm probably friends with him.
You made me watch the uncut version too. I meant to say that.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I don't feel he made you do that at all.
Well, he made me do it.
That's the only one I could find.
I watched. I was laughing because I thought it was just like extended because it's like Babylon AD raw and uncut. So I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen in this movie.
That sounds filthy.
Yeah. Because it even says that on the Blu-ray cover. So, but of all the shit y'all said, I ain't heard nothing different yet. I'm gonna try my best to remember. If y'all skip over some, I'll say, "Oh, you missed the uncut version." But
well, they do mention that Carl is a baby killer, which made me think, oh, this is a Serbian film.
mm-hmm. Oh, like Nathan said, it comes up later. Believe me.
Yeah. So, during this whole exchange between our friend Gorski and Turop, I had to read it at the end. All I could remark was, did they shoot this with a fisheye lens, or are both of their noses really that large and bulbous?
Oh, Gerard's nose is quite large.
Even Vin Diesel, both of them looked like they had like friggin' softballs on the end of their noses. The way this thing was shot.
Also, are they driving through the set of the Blair Witch Project? Because...
Well, he's got the night vision on, so he can see outside of his limo tank.
And there's two girls sitting there that are just gaming, I think.
Probably. I
playing
mean,
like
he's supposed to be like a mob boss, so
yeah. But I just like the fact that they're just sitting there gaming.
they're probably just glad to not be going down on his French Russian grossness.
God.
Freshen, there you go.
Ladies, you want to see my Depardieu? My Depar-dick? Oh shit!
There's a porn parody right there.
Sure. Wait, you making a porn parody just named after the actor?
Yes.
Gerard Depar-dick?
I'm looking it up, Brendan.
Oh my god.
Of course he is.
I got it.
Yeah, so that
This
conversation
my
is
job.
going on. That's when you get the premise of the movie, right? Where he's like, I need you to go get this girl and transport her to New York.
Yes, and so they drop Vin off, and he's got to wait. We assume that he's going to wait for his flight, but no, he does wait for his flight, but it's a car on a helicopter. To which I noted, wow, they really do have flying cars in the future.
Thank you, Randall.
And the flying car. So rather than get him into the helicopter, no, he's got to sit in this car as they transport it to Mongolia.
Well, that's where they were going?
Yeah, because I have the note here. It's a holiday in Mongolia. See, yeah, because I like the dead Kennedys.
Brent, I feel like you found something.
Oh, no, it's just the title. It just says Gerard Depardieu naked, free porn, part 1 of 72.
Part of 72?
Yeesh.
Is part 1 second long?
Let's find out.
Start watching it, Brent.
I have it on in the background. Oh, it's 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Oh, and it has 188 likes, though. Only 12 dislikes. There you go. Somebody like it.
So what happens next in the movie, Nathan?
Well, we meet a nun who's a real hard ass, which I did not see coming.
No.
I've never met a single nun that's a total hard ass.
Excuse me, what was that?
I said I've never met a nun that's a total hard ass.
So you're giving me a
Never.
compliment.
I am, Mother Superior. I'm saying that you are a delight, a treat to be around, and a national treasure.
Listen, I'll be back here the whole time, so just be careful how you talk about this nun.
Okay, tell Milos we said hello.
I will.
Okay, so
she's a hard ass, but she also got a nice ass, Nate.
Excuse me, what was that?
Nothing.
Young man? You don't be ogling a nun.
I did nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never. I love the Bible.
I know that is nonsense.
What? You know nothing. I know all about the boat and the animals and the rocks, scribbled rocks, wherever this shit happened.
Listen, I am
she's
going
it,
to
Brent.
be
Keep going.
in the room. Okay?
With Tommy
You better be
Wiseau,
on your best behavior.
I will do my best.
Thank you.
Now go suck me those dick.
Brent, you need to be careful. She is going to... You're in a different... Fuck you. You're in a different country.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Long-term
what?
beef.
You can't outrun the long arm of the law.
She'll walk.
At least that's what Kenny Rogers told me once.
It's funny. She's in this movie, too. I got in my notes, I wrote Mother Superior's in this movie.
Sister Rebecca is her name, right?
I never
That
got the
is-
name. It was always Mother Superior.
Yeah, and so she's laying down. She's got some rules she's gonna lay down to old Turop first.
I thought you were just saying she was laying down. I was like, wait, what?
No. Laying down
That's the
some
raw
rules
uncut.
for Turop. And she says, I have 3 ground rules. And he goes, shit, all right, let's go.
Rule number 2, the less contact she has with the outside world, the better. You're here to protect her from outside influences. That includes seeing, hearing, and feeling.
Now, it's a harsh world out there, sister.
I know. That is why we live in here.
Shit, okay, what's your 3rd rule?
No foul language.
Yeah. Also, the don't expose her to the outside world thing. Like, you better cover her in a blanket then, because
Right.
Because you're heading to New York.
yeah, you're gonna see everything, including Gerard Depardieu porn.
Oh, God.
Depardieu.
So now that she's laid down her rules, our, I guess, escort mission, for lack of a better term, is called out of the convent. We meet Aurora, who looks like the least Mongolian person I've ever seen.
Oh, lily white.
Yeah.
By the way, Vin Diesel also threatens this nun by saying, "If you mess with me, I'm basically going to force you to become a prostitute to find your way back."
I'll leave you in the middle of nowhere with nothing but your ass to sell to get back here.
I was like, "That's
I think
quite
is
a threat."
Is the quote. Yeah.
She should just whooped his ass.
the girl, she tries to talk to Vin, and of course, Mother Superior, she shuts it down. And Vin's like, you know, she's right. You probably shouldn't talk to me all that much. Now I got to go look in the trunk for my Apple roadmap.
Which is like a paper map, but computerized. Like, what's the point of that?
And you can pinch zoom it.
I can't lie. I can't lie. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, you know what?
It's neat.
That's one of the things in this movie I actually like.
And that's, I mean, the thing is, I mean, you hate to give any sort of like real props to a movie like this, but it's one of those things. It's like any good sci-fi envisions what could be. Now, granted, we don't have like computerized paper maps that you can pinch zoom, but you can do the exact same thing on your smartphone now. It's like with Star Trek when the communicators that flip open were basically, you know what, if anybody had a flip phone in the early 2000s, you basically had a Star Trek communicator with you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
They do got the foldable phones now too. They had the map was all folded up, so you got all that. It predicted the future.
This
Babylon
movie
shit
is prescient.
So Vin takes them to another area. I guess he takes them. I mean, they're supposed to be in Mongolia, but I mean, he must have done a hell of a lot of driving because they end up in like some either Eastern European or Russian place. Yep. Because there's all this Cyrillic writing, and they're at another open air market because they need to get clothes that make them blend in better.
And by the way, he's not paying for that stuff. He just
stole that shit.
But then later you see him paying for something else, and I'm like, Vin, support small business. You are getting $500,000 for this job. You can buy the clothes.
There's a really great thing where they're walking through the bazaar, and there's a guy who's got like this crucifix, and he's kind of trying to foist it onto them, like pushing it on them. I don't have any subtitles on. I don't know if the subtitles translated what this guy was saying, but all I can imagine was him saying, look at this neat cross that I've got. It's a real swell cross, and you should buy it. It's got Jesus on it and everything.
You like the Bible, right?
Yeah!
I'm living it right now.
Oh, this is the same scene too in my notes. When they get to the end, there's like some tigers in a cage. But I thought the sound had fucked up on them because it sounded like they were auto-tuned tigers. Did that sound like that with y'all?
Well, yeah, don't we learn they're like copies of a copy? They're like if you take a file and export it, and then you export that file again.
So I didn't even hear that.
Vin kind of explains that they're man-made.
Oh, it sounds like they had the T-Pain on them.
And she gets actually because she's so empathetic to anything, person or whatever that's suffering, that she kind of gets overwhelmed, and this crowd at this bazaar quickly turns into basically a mosh pit.
Well, because she is also like because we don't know everything yet, but in terms of what I see here, she's like a psychic. Because she's like, no, something bad is going to happen if we go that way. And then we see an explosion, and she was right. And I was like, what? What are we saying with this?
And then they
Virgin
quickly
Mary could tell the future.
Which, spoiler alert, not in the Bible.
It's in the one between the Old and the New Testament.
It's in the Newer Testament.
But
the Middle Testament. No, the Newer Testament was found on some gold plates in Utah. Remember?
Oh shit!
Tell us all about it, Steve.
No. So they do their best to get away from this explosion, and they get on the train where they start to have their kind of like little theology discussion. Where you're kind of starting to get an idea of what's up with this girl, but they still haven't totally told you yet.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on, man.
Well, they're doing that, and then at one point they're like, there's an announcement that the shields or the shutters are being put up for your protection, and I'm assuming they're driving or they're taking the train right through Chernobyl, because there was like wrecked out nuclear plants, That's why they had to put up the shields to keep the radiation out. And they end up at a Russian refugee camp that apparently hosts cage fights with Seamus's Russian brother.
It's apparently like it's also like a nightclub or something. Like I don't know. Also, I'm just gonna say
you
this.
hear the confusion in our voices, people. This confusion is real. We didn't watch the movie slack-assed or not paying attention. We paid attention. I have several notes, and if Brendan actually does post any sort of video or picture, these are my notes. We took notes. It's still damn confusing. You mean to tell me you made a time machine out of a DeLorean?
I rewound several times, okay? Like, I put the work in. So.
I didn't, so I'm glad you did. I fell asleep a couple times.
I appreciate your honesty, Brent. No, so I was going to say, to the editor of this movie, I don't need to know the latitude and longitude of every location we go to, by the way.
Yeah, he'll give you the entire latitude and longitude, but later on, Kitimat, it's just in Canada. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah, we're just one place.
It's Canada.
Yep. It's in Kitimat, right next door to Toronto.
Yeah.
See it from outside your door.
Yeah.
It's a hike away.
So, right. We do get a brief knowing into Turop's lineage. He is clearly descended from Stone Cold Steve Austin because he lives by the motto, don't trust anyone.
DTA!
That's right. They really he's there to meet a fellow who is like, for the lack of a better term, coyote, because he specializes in getting people across international borders without having to present passports or anything like that. Oh, we did forget to mention that Vin Diesel was issued a passport, which is not a paper passport in that day and age. No, it's something that you inject into your bloodstream, which sounds super, super safe.
Nanomachines.
Right.
Also, this guy that he meets up with, his name is Finn. So every time I heard his name, I was like, wait, is he... Oh, Vin. Oh, right, Vin is a character in this movie. Also, Finn is played by Mark Strong, so as soon as Mark Strong comes on screen, I was like, oh, he's going to be a bad guy. Like, not as obvious as that movie where he literally played a character named Sinestro, but...
Oh, that was him?
That was him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't
And then
know
that post-credit scene where he turns into, like, the villain, and you're like, wow, I never thought a guy with the name Sinister in his name would become a bad guy.
Like, no joke, me and PJ don't know shit about Green Lantern, and we both called that immediately when we did that fucking movie. Hey, fuck that movie, too. I'm just going to say that again.
Oh, it's terrible.
Quick. Movie sucks. Best part is watching his dad blow up in the plane. That's the funniest part of the whole movie.
I own the director's cut.
I did, too, and I gave it to PJ.
And he was like, what the fuck, man? Why?
Yeah, show it to your kid. Now his kid like it, so now he has to watch it all the time.
That's cruel, man.
Yeah, that's what best friends do.
That's what friends do. That's right.
These guys do show up and try to pay Vin off to leave and just leave the girl to them, and this results in a parkour battle.
Well, they do say that. Isn't this where? They don't say that just yet. I'll say that for just a minute. They do, but the nun, the kung fu nun, Sister Rebecca, if they wanted to display the fact that she was, trained in martial arts, I feel that any of her fight scenes should have been shot way better.
The fight scenes are terrible.
Fight scenes are shot terrible. Like they're so close, you don't get to see any of the cool swing kicks or flips or anything that she does. It's all just shot super close, and it's not really impressive. It just looks like any average day fight that you would see in a movie.
Yep. And this girl that he's trying to rescue, this Aurora is her name. She's basically like, no, let these people kidnap me. They want to protect me. Like I'm again at this point in the movie, you're like, wait, what? What's going on?
Well, they even say that we're. Well, no, they do say that your father sent us.
Right,
yeah.
And then Sister Rebecca is like, your father's not alive. And is your father alive? And everything's just a mess.
Yeah, that's more, you're heading more into the Stallone territory.
Hey, it's me. I'm in the movie now.
What family slut?
I just imagine him in this movie. If this was made in the 90s, it would have been Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Or if it went direct to video, Van Damme. So they they get past all this business with the the cage fights at the refugee camp and everything like that. Of course, Vin has to beat up the guy who looks like Russian Seamus, but he was just trying to protect Aurora. The next day, they're walking out onto the ice because they're heading to the Bering Strait. It's because they're going to cross the Bering Strait ice bridge, which Finn complains you're not going to be able to do this much longer because global warming is deteriorating the ice. So not only do you get a Bible story with this, but you also get an environmental message as well.
Which, honestly, a lot of times they don't combine those two.
No.
It's just Jesus holding us tighter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie too. I fell asleep around this point. I saw the fight in the club, and when I woke up, they were like shooting people on the side of a submarine. So everything in between, I don't know what the fuck happened.
You didn't miss a whole lot. Everybody, this caravan of really bad hombres are heading towards they're headed towards. You think they're just gonna walk to Canada, but no, a Russian sub comes up through the ice, and this is what's going to transport them across the international border. But they've only got 1 minute. Everybody that's in this huge group of people have 1 minute to get onto the sub to safety. And so everybody starts trying to kind of pile in. Of course, people are falling into the ice. And then when the 1 minute's up, the Russian, I don't think they're soldiers. I'm pretty sure they're mercenaries. I don't feel like soldiers would be like, yeah, it's cool. We'll transport you across international barriers in our, Russian submarine. They just start murking people on the side of the sub because they can't fit anybody else in, or they gotta dip back below water because they don't want to get spotted by satellites.
Yeah.
This leads to like a total free for all, where Turop is he's almost killed, but he manages to subdue the Russian mercenary who was trying to stop him from getting on the sub, and he gets on the sub. But of course, Aurora is like she can't handle that. She wants to go back up and rescue more people. And they have to kind of subdue. And she knows how to run a 30-year-old Russian MiG.
Yeah.
And then we started to get some backstory because they're hanging out on the sub, and Sister Rebecca is like, this is the stupidest thing. Nobody talks like this, by the way, because Sister Rebecca is like, oh, she could speak at 2 years old. And Vin Diesel goes, well, a lot of babies could speak at 2 years old, or a lot of kids could speak at 2 years old. And then she goes, but in 19 different languages. You know what? Say that at the beginning.
With that. Yeah, don't bury the lead.
You make yourself sound like an idiot.
Aurora could speak when she was 2 years old.
Yeah, but there are kids that can speak at 2 years old.
19 different languages.
Yeah, so we do get kind of this idea that there's obviously something either supernatural or divine about her because, speaking 19 different languages at 2, she knows how to run a sub that's older than her that she's never been on. And Sister Rebecca even says that she's been able to do things that she should not know how to do before, not just languages, but the whole thing with the sub and whatnot. Then we cut over to a discussion between Finn and Turop, where Finn is saying that he's speculating that Aurora is carrying some virus. They never expand upon that. Like, was there a virus that I don't want to say again that this movie predicted the future, but was there's some sort of virus that decimated the world? They never really get too specific about that. And Turop even says that if I find that out, I'll shoot her in the head and burn the body myself.
To which there's a really funny scene later where Aurora says, are you really going to shoot me in the head and burn my body? And he's like, well, I hope I don't have to. That made me laugh so hard.
That's a reasonable response. That's a reasonable response to that. Yeah,
real shit.
So casually.
They get across to almost to Canada, and they have to take snowmobiles.
They've only got 2, by the way.
Where did those come from? 'Cause I missed that too. I think I drifted again. Okay.
Finn set it up. It wasn't Finn. It was the demon, Brent.
Oh. Got it from NXT. Wrestling references again. Goddamn.
So they, of course, as they're going along, they see some polar bears who have been shot, and apparently the Russians at this stage of before the demilitarized zone between Russia, Asia, and North America, anything that moves in that area gets shot. No questions asked. Okay, so all right, let's get this absolutely straight. We have folding maps that you can pinch zoom. All right, and we have passports that get injected directly into your blood. We have military drones with weapons, missiles, and machine gun capabilities. You can't stick a goddamn camera on these things and be like, nope, it's just a polar bear.
Nah, fuck that. Everything gotta die.
Everything's gotta die. That's why the animals keep going extinct.
Yeah.
Which kind of dovetails into the whole mixing of, a religious story, but also an environmental message.
Right. And
this leads to a chase.
Yeah, which is shot extremely well, right? And very good and
very
entertaining. Yeah.
At one point,
IMAX.
At one point, yeah, right.
Double feature. You can watch the space documentary and then Babylon AD.
And then Babylon AD. So at one point during this chase, Turop takes Aurora and tells her to jump onto his bike.
Oh,
and I was like, caught that. You made a mistake there, movie. I'm calling you out on the carpet. So of course they're trying to escape these drones that killed the polar bears. And Vin Diesel, Turop is trying to draw their fire and everything. They managed to do that. They think that he's dead. And so the fella Sinestro, he basically says, I'll take those passports of yours, and he's gonna take their stuff and finish the rest of the way into North America and leave them dead on the ice. But Kel Surprise, Turop is not dead.
Nope. And he shoots him. He shoots Sinestro and kills him dead. That's it for Mark Strong, R.I.P.D.
Quick paycheck. Like Nathan said, too, you saw in the beginning that he gonna die in the middle of the street somewhere, so who gives a fuck about this scene anyway?
Exactly. He's perfectly fine.
Like, if you're gonna do that opening where you know a character is gonna die, where they tell you he's gonna die, don't make so many scenes where there's a possibility of him dying before we get to that scene that we've already seen.
Yeah.
It's like there's no suspense in those scenes.
No, because you're like, nope, he's gonna be fine. I can't wait to see how he gets out of it, but he's gonna be fine.
Right.
They have to kind of set up camp on the tundra that evening, and they're kind of having like some light conversation until Aurora just takes a big shit all over it and says, "We're all gonna die in New York City.
We are all going to die in New York. Good night."
That made me laugh.
Literally, yes, I laughed hard. And literally 5 seconds after she says, "We're all going to die in New York tomorrow," she says, "Good night." By the way, I'm actually shocked.
She also resigned as the president of the bank as well.
Brent, you absolutely need to watch that movie.
Yeah, I will.
No, and not only that, but like, I was shocked that he didn't just fuck both of them in that scene.
Yeah.
We've all seen Return of Xander Cage. We know whenever he goes to a place with a bunch of ladies, that's what's going to happen.
Well, that's what he does for his country, Brendan.
I live for this shit.
Just like Robert Plant, simply irresistible.
Oh yeah. Vin Diesel's a stud. Oh, and that's when he talks to Aurora, and that's when she says the line about like, "Are you really gonna burn my body?" And that's hilarious too. But then she says, "This isn't." That line from The Wizard of Oz where it's just like, I don't think this is this doesn't feel like Kansas anymore or whatever. And they have to have Vin Diesel say, "Oh, that's from The Wizard of Oz," as if we're all too stupid to know that that's from The Wizard of Oz.
Not everybody has seen it, Brendan.
Everybody knows that line.
She also has this conversation where she asks him where he's going to go after this is all done.
Home.
'Cause he'll be free. And he gives her a precise address.
Yeah, that won't be important.
27 Cedar Grove, upstate New York.
That was
That's
crazy.
true. I didn't think about that.
I would at the time I was like, why did he get that specific? And then with the payoff later, I'm like, oh, but also that's stupid because why would you get that specific?
Because he trying to smash. He want to come to my house. I stay here. This is the zip code. Bring that shit over here, girl.
He was like, girl, let me see your ID first.
It makes him look detail oriented. So yeah, chicks dig that apparently. I guess.
That's early levels of the game, Nathan.
Right. They do manage to make their way to Kitimat, BC. Kitimat is in British Columbia, considerably far away from New York City. In fact, the entire other coast.
I was gonna say, yeah, you might say on the other side of the country.
Yeah. And they actually have like a hotel room and stuff like that. And I'm pretty positive something happened here that, it's that to make the ending be like, yeah, I don't think she's the Virgin Mary.
Brent, do they fuck in the director's cut?
The closest thing I remember seeing is there's a scene where like she's all up on him, like with her hands all up on his chest, and then Michelle Yeoh like comes in and they just kind of look like, ooh.
Yeah, no, that was in the one I saw.
That's all I got. Ain't no smashing, and I remember that part.
I did say this. It was really weird to see Vin Diesel with that much hair on his head. Now he doesn't have a lot, but I've never seen him with the stubble. I've always seen him just a shaved head, and also that terrible hairpiece that he wore for Find Me Guilty.
Oh my god, that wig was something else. Oh, also, yeah, they take a flight which has I don't know if you guys caught this. It's a very subtle product placement. Coke Zero on the side of the plane.
Coke Zero's all over the place in this fucking movie.
I think the thing that got me the most was that when Michelle Yeoh, Sister Rebecca, Mother Superior, interrupts them post-coital. I'm saying it right now. I'm going on record. I'm pretty positive they fucked
I
in
thought
that
it happened
hotel.
too. I'm with you.
She says the bus is leaving. Our flight leaves in a couple of hours. Okay. Even the motorcycle outside your apartment agrees, Brent.
I was like, are you fucking recording outside a racetrack?
No, there's legit one right up the street from me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even joking.
So, which means that Kitimat at some point became this huge bustling metropolis, so massive that it has an international airport the size of the one we see in this movie. Kitimat's not a very big town in BC.
So you're telling me Canada don't look like this?
Not well. You know what? I'm sure possibly Vancouver in the future, maybe, but not Kitimat.
I also love when they get to New York, and Vin Diesel gets off the bus or whatever, and he's like, "Harlem, you've changed," and I'm like, "Fuck off!" Just what are you talking about? Also, they make almost no effort to like futurize New York City. It did not look that futuristic to me.
No, not really. The only what they tried to do was make the apartment that they were in look futuristic in that it had like that weird folding wall to the bedroom and the Marty McFly TV
that you can't turn off. She says,
which is actually, I think they used something like that in an episode of Black Mirror, where like people are just constantly that you always see screens but you can't turn them off. You can change the channel but you can't turn them off.
Yeah, you get like credits or something where you can skip ads or something like that.
Yeah. And so there's this giant screen. It's playing all these channels all at once, and if you want to watch one specifically, you say the channel that it goes to, and it just kind of like brings it to the front and expands it like a Windows box on Windows 10. But yeah, you can't shut it off. Which, you know what? I don't see how that could ever be a thing. If it ever does become a thing, I'm gonna start selling sledgehammers. Because you might not be able to turn it off with a remote, but I feel a trusty sledgehammer might take care of the blue light for you.
Nah, indestructible. They got that covered. You can't fuck it up, man.
I would find a way.
They're all made out of liquid metal.
TV 1000.
You hit
There
hit
you
the
go.
TV. Yeah, you hit the TV with a sledgehammer. It just turns and looks at you and says, "Have you seen this boy?"
Have you seen The Boy?
Ooh.
Or Brahms, The Boy 2.
Oh, I've seen both.
Brendan
Both
loves them.
coming super soon.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible movies. Although, after seeing the second one, I was like, wow, I never thought I'd see a movie that made the first one look good. Because that movie's terrible.
The second one is unnecessary, and it goes against everything that's in the first one.
Yep.
So it's a good sequel then.
Such a troll.
We do.
Hey.
We do. There is a reason why they have this whole discussion with the TV, because we do find out that the convent in Mongolia was destroyed, like just struck with a missile, and all the nuns are dead.
Hashtag dead nuns.
Hashtag nun murder.
And so
What was that? What was that
Nothing.
hashtag you were using?
No, that was on TV.
That
That's
was on
Fox
the
News
TV
talking.
right there?
Yeah, Fox News dude Hannity said that shit. Go talk to him.
Oh, Fox News. I tell you, I might be a nun. You might get the wrong impression, but I don't care for that Sean Hannity. Okay, I'll be back.
weird. I thought you liked all the Irish. Anyhow, so with this we find out, and this is where Vin Turop is. He's like, this is a suicide mission. There's no way we're getting out of this alive. Once they get her, they're gonna kill us both. But we don't get to think about that too much, because then we meet, a really creepy doctor
Who reads her thetan levels?
I actually said I
Or
actually
what?
noted he was. He was checking her metachlorine count.
Oh.
No, I said she was reading her thetan levels like a fucking Scientologist or whatever.
Oh, they said her
Yeah.
feet levels. I was like, what?
He was a podiatrist.
No, he wasn't played by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that'd have been a good cameo for you.
Okay, like your feet are like pretty good. Okay, like.
Oh shit.
So this is where we get, in case you hadn't figured it out already, she has to blurt out that she is pregnant
With twins.
with twins, and we're meant to believe that this is the Immaculate Conception, and bullshit. There's a lot of overnights between Russia and New York City. Guarantee you, those are straight up Vin Diesel's kids.
But he used the rubber, Nathan.
Then they detected them quickly. Vin's got super
Well,
sperm.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I think she has ultra ovaries. Actually,
Type that into the porn search.
Oh,
super sperm and ultra ovaries.
Oh, I got you.
They're coming next to the MCU.
I'd watch that movie.
they go into the street, right? Because he's supposedly
do.
going to make the handoff, but then Vin Diesel is just like, psych, and starts like shooting everyone he can.
Yeah, this leads to a big fight between the religious sect and Gorski's fellas, because they're there to oversee the handoff.
By the way, the religious sect led by Charlotte Rampling's character, who we don't really see, like we've seen maybe 2 scenes.
We've seen once before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Brent found something.
I bet he did.
The fucking titles, man. It says 4K. It says 4K. Do you want to know how it feels to
4K.
suck that dick? Feel the taste of sperm in mouth. Watch. The fucking titles, bro.
I would like to pull your search history.
This is why when I talk about my podcast to like my parents and to people who go to my church and stuff, I just say, yeah, I have a podcast. Please don't ever listen to it.
Hey, Raz, I tell my mom, hey, you should listen to our new episode.
And
And she's not surprised at all.
I would just get so many disappointed looks from my mother.
Shit.
Vin Diesel outruns a missile.
Yes.
Well, before that, Sister Rebecca, she gets shot, and we find out that she's not a bulletproof monk.
Oh!
Coming soon.
Right, coming soon.
I own that too, so hey.
We get another bunch of mispronunciations of Vin Diesel's name. Turrup.
Turok.
Turrup.
Turnip.
And so you're right. Vin does outrun a missile because the missile is apparently honed in on the passport that is injected into his blood.
Yeah, because they said, Gerard Depardieu put like a tracker inside that too, so it's following the tracker or some shit.
Yeah.
I actually caught some.
And he told Aurora that it won't deactivate until he's dead.
Yeah.
So she shoots him.
She shoots him in the gut, and then she seemingly stands in the way to take the missile. So we think that she's dead now, Aurora.
Well, she also says to him, "I need you to live," and then shoots him.
Right. Mixed messages. Ladies, tell us what you want.
Just right? I mean,
can't read your mind, man.
We're simple creatures, us men. And then of course, Vin wakes up and he's lost a leg. I mean, a missile, a guided missile, blows up directly almost in front of him, and he lost a leg, and his hand's a little weak now.
Yeah. That's it.
But
that's normal.
But thankfully, he's treated by Dr. Neckbrace.
Right, who turns him into a Borg, so they can read his memories.
Like the 6th Day and Wild Wild West.
Your favorites.
You know what? It feels like this section is 100% tacked on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That the whole thing, New York City should have been where this movie ended. But no, it has to continue on because they were like, "Oh right, we hired Charlotte Rampling. We should probably put her in a few more scenes before we end this movie."
We got to get what we paid for, guys.
Right.
But this is like the exposition dump.
Yes,
because the doctor
really
is like, "Hey, remember how you thought Aurora's father had died? Psych, I'm Aurora's father, and Gorski tried to kill me, but they didn't because I made this girl, and we put a computer in her brain, and she was gonna be the Virgin Mary. Because Charlotte Rampling hired me to do that, and I wanted to keep her because I treat her like my own daughter, and now she's after me, and I'm gonna have a stroke."
Yeah,
because Charlotte Rampling's religious sect wanted to get some sort of like I don't know, clout or credibility to it by having their own Virgin Mary, I guess. And
they wanted more followers. They said some shit about they wanted more followers, so they did this bullshit.
Maybe they are.
Yeah, because this would prove if she was part of their religious sect and had a virgin birth. Spoiler alert, that's not a virgin birth. Then that would lend credence to their religion being like the one true religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the doctor, who is I guess Aurora's father, in the most technical of senses, I guess. That's right, motorcycle. He is bullshit. He says.
Well, I know he said they put a motherfucking microchip in her as like a fetus or some shit and programmed it so that she has all this knowledge.
Yeah, that's kind of it. They basically ran computer algorithms through her brain as a fetus, which I don't think that's a thing.
It's because you never tried it yet, Nathan.
Her dad. Yeah, well, you know what? Like I said, good sci-fi predicts the future, right?
Hey, we still got 6 years to get there. This takes place in 2027. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh shit. That's...
I can't wait for those computerized roadmaps.
Yeah.
Her dad calls out Charlotte Rampling for basically being a hypocrite because she knows that everything that she's peddling about this virgin birth and this immaculate child is all bullshit because it's all because of his science experiments. Mm-hmm. This happens just before we get to see one of the greatest, the performances where we're reading Vin Diesel's memories, and he's got a headphone stuck to an eye patch on his eye to make it look super, cybernetic, futuristic like.
Got them beats, man.
It's like if you wanted to make a Borg costume but could only afford to go to the dollar store. That's what he looks like.
And he's also making some of the best facial reactions ever.
Yeah. second only to that of Arnold Schwarzenegger in, as you said, The Sixth Day.
Yeah.
Or Total Recall.
Or almost any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Fair point. He then remembers, because they play it back to say that she said, I don't know, come home or something like that in the memory. He's like, I know where she's at. And so he goes to 27 Cedar Grove in upstate New York, and of course she's there, but couldn't be bothered to fix up the place.
No. She had lots of time. She could have built him a new house.
Yeah, right? Lazy. They don't get really too much time to have much of a reunion, because then we get a Humvee chase, because pissed off Charlotte Rampling, who has killed Aurora's father, chewed out her board of executives for her New Dawn religious sect, then apparently launches a nuke to try to kill him. Real free with the nukes, because not only does she try to kill them with that and this chase, but also she does the same thing with Gorski.
Yeah, well, the Gorski is like, what are you going to do, launch a nuke at me? And then he hears like a beep or whatever, and he's like, bitch. And I know, as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's probably Brent's favorite line.
It was one of my favorite parts, because he's just talking all that shit. He's like, oh, you're going to need a nuke, you're going to kill me. And just, whoo, bitch. That was legit my favorite part in the whole movie. You know me too well.
I know.
And she has the twins, and Turop raises them.
She has the twins and then dies.
Yeah.
I
is that in the Bible? Is that how it
didn't. Did not.
Okay.
And also didn't seem like a really strenuous or dangerous labor, really.
So I was reading the
plot
summary on Wikipedia, because I wanted to find out. I was like, why did she die? And in the plot summary, it says that she, was only designed to breed. And I was like, I don't remember that part.
They never mentioned it. Was that in the raw and extended cut?
They actually do mention that, yeah.
That makes more sense.
She died of a broken heart, Brent. It's like Star Wars Episode 3.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Sounded to me like she died of a busted fallopian tube.
Pushing Vin Diesel twins out, it's all bad, man.
Yeah.
I wanted it to just be blood shooting out every fucking where. That's what I was hoping in that scene, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, so she has twins who look nothing like each other.
Oh, thank you. I meant to tell y'all, I looked this up afterwards. My movie ends in it without showing what the twins look like. They cut that out of the raw and uncut version for some reason, so it's technically not uncut. Because I didn't see what the kids look like. I saw that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? What did they look like?
Well,
that actually goes back to my my theory that she did have sex with Vin Diesel, because Vin Diesel, a rather caramel-looking chap, I feel could possibly be of biracial ancestry. So meaning that if he were to have kids, one kid could be white and one kid could be black.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
That has happened. That has legitimately happened before.
And you know what, guys? Yep. We don't find out at all what happened to Charlotte Rampling, because that's going to be in the sequel. But we do end the movie by seeing that Vin Diesel, he now has a family.
It all comes full circle.
That's right. So he gets it, even though he doesn't get to say it. I'll say this: it's far more considerate than Batman Forever.
In terms of its length.
In fact, that it was nice and short.
Oh.
I was able to watch other stuff afterwards.
I love Batman Forever.
Fuck that fucking movie.
So from what y'all said, I don't know what the fuck was raw and uncut, because everything y'all said I saw, and I don't remember shit else that was different. Unless it was just action scenes.
It was probably
extended.
very minor dumb things.
And you did say that they explained that she was going to die once she gave birth.
Yeah. And like I said, I feel like I lost shit. Like I don't remember nothing new, and y'all didn't even get to see the damn baby. Like I lost a fucking scene.
Kelly, the baby.
Been watching South Park, my bad. That's the movie though. That's it.
So,
right?
Yeah, that's
no post credits.
That's Babylon ADHD.
Okay, so I definitely, when the moment they ended, I turned it the fuck off.
I say that because I watched it in high definition. It's Babylon ADHD.
There you go.
Yeah.
My last note is thank God that's over. So there you go.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess. Well, you know what? On that, let's go around the table. Brent, you're familiar with our rating system, so would you say it's worth a watch? Drunk watch with friends? Are you going to attempt some head trauma to forget this, or is you just going to avoid it like the plague?
I'm just gonna avoid this shit like the plague that the little girl I guess had in the movie.
Okay.
But no, I couldn't. Like I made note of this. I checked the timer 8 times and fell asleep multiple times.
Okay.
So I couldn't do it.
So what? Wait, what would your rating out of 10 be? Like home video hustle style?
I thought about it. I was between 2 numbers, and if you know our show, between 2 numbers, you gotta go low because you can't get up to the higher number. So for me, man, it's a fucking 1. I couldn't do it, man. This shit's terrible.
Wow.
Oof. Brent hated this movie.
Like this is right. Like this is right there with Roller Gator. Like if you want to, I couldn't. Like I think actually like like I say, at least that's the thing with this movie. Like I was gonna say with Green Lantern, me and PJ at least got the dad dying in the plane. We laughed like a motherfucker at that. There was nothing here that I could grasp onto. Even Roller Gator to an extent had
a rapping Roller Gator.
Yeah, Gator rap. But that movie just went on too fucking long enough. That was like a 20-minute short. I'd probably love Roller Gator. But yeah, this movie ain't have shit.
You will not besmirch the good name of Joe Estevez.
No, I will besmirch the fuck out of it. But
okay.
I didn't like it, Brendan. This shit's whack as fuck.
Well, Brendan, what say you, good sir?
Well, see, I came into this being between 2 of our categories as well. But I think this discussion kind of made me land on 1. It's not an avoid like the plague for me, but I think I would commit head trauma to forget it. I think it's just it's there's a few moments that are kind of funny because they're so stupid, and the plot is just so nonsensical. So yeah, I'll say I would attempt head trauma, but really I've forgotten most of it. So
yeah,
you don't need to. Okay.
What about you, Nathan?
Well, I mean, for me, this actually does seem like the kind of movie that I would like to get, drunk and watch with friends. So I'm going to say a drunk watch with friends, provided those friends are into talking over most of the movie, riff track style.
So you're going to hang out and watch this movie with Brent?
I that would be delightful.
I might. Like, if I could talk shit, that's one of the reasons why some movies get such high scores on our shows, because me and PJ just talk shit the whole time. So maybe that would have been the difference maker. But by myself, fuck no, man. I mean, if you want to go to sleep, if you can't sleep at night, turn this on. It definitely work for you.
So there you go. Brent also recommends this as a sedative.
Yeah, there you go.
And with that, we're going to take a real quick break, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
This episode is brought to you by Salesforce, the world's #1 CRM. Unite every team around your customer. Salesforce Customer 360 and Slack are your digital HQ that help you do it. One integrated platform that gives everyone a single shared view of your customer. The result? Employees have the information they need to do their best work and give your customer an amazing experience every time. To learn more about what Salesforce Customer 360 can do for your business, visit salesforce.com/customer 360.
And we are back. Yes, we're back here on NPR, and this week's segment is brought to you by Babylon AZ for all your sleep needs. It is non-habit forming. Check with your doctor, although some side effects may include dry mouth, liver failure, and severe halitosis.
My favorite tosis.
This is the low haiku. Brandon, could you please enlighten the audience as to what the low haiku is?
Sure. The low haiku is 17 gorgeous syllables, breaking down the movie we just discussed for a little while. Yeah, in truly poetic fashion.
Okay, and as is our usual tradition here, we will defer to our guest to lead us off in the low haiku. Brent, if you will.
Why, thank you. Vin has super sperm. This can cure insomnia. I take a nap now. Thank you.
Very good.
I hope
Very
you
good,
had
very
a good nap.
I did.
Brendan, if you would delight us with yours.
Sure. A religious film? A robot Virgin Mary. Wait, is Vin Joseph? Thank you.
Very good. Excellent. Good play on the greatest haiku ever told.
Hey.
So I will round out the haikus this week with mine. Vin is the hero, but I can't pronounce his name. Say that again, please.
Wonderful.
Turok.
Thank you.
Tupac.
Tupac, yes.
With that wish, you're gonna pull us on out of here.
Hey!
California loving, baby.
California, super cool to the homeless.
Knows how to party.
So that's the low haiku, and you know what? Yeah, we've kind of had our say about this, poetic and non. But you know, there's something else that needs to be done, and I don't feel that our opinion should be the only one that is taken. And what do we normally say in this situation, though, Brendan?
Well, normally we tend to say,
Don't take a word for it.
That is right. Do not take our word for it, because the critics and audience have their say in it. Now, Brendan, could you please let us know what the critics thought of this cinematic masterpiece?
well, Nathan, this is one of our single-digit hits. 6% of the critics
sheesh.
liked this movie.
That's pretty bad, but about right.
Yep.
So, but I mean, you know, Vin Diesel's got fans. Charlotte Rampling's got fans. Gerard Depardieu's got fans.
Does she?
I mean, they must have rallied behind this. What did the audience have to say?
Well, and also lots of crossover with those fans, too. The audience, 26% of them liked it. Less than a third. Barely over a quarter.
Man.
So,
And that's from 100,000 ratings, but unfortunately that does mean that like around 26,000 people liked this movie.
Somehow.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
They were drunk.
art is subjective, and so is crap. So as not to screw up the our usual flow with this, I will let Brendan take the first critical lead on this.
All right. Well, I will start off with Roger Moore
Hey.
of the Orlando Sentinel.
Bond himself.
Sorry, he's from Orlando, guys.
Oh.
But he says this.
Mr. Out on Bond himself.
Hey.
He says the movie has a nice look: gray, rusted metal, holy rusted metal. Roger Moore, exposed to Siberian and Bering Strait snow. What it lacks is coherence and a compelling reason for us to take this often abrupt journey with Aurora, Turop, and Sister Rebecca. That's a 1 out of 5.
Okay, well, Andrew L. Urban.
17 people found it helpful.
Oh,
Hey.
from the Urban Cinephile, he actually apparently kind of enjoyed it because his review is a fresh one, and he writes, Mathieu Kassovitz is making a determined challenge for the stylish French sci-fi thriller crown of Luc Besson with this highly effective, highly charged action movie, even though he has to rather mangle the novel on which it's based.
Yeah, it's right on the level of The Fifth Element.
Oh. All right, let me see. That's a fresh review from Caffeinated Clint over at Movie Hole.
My kind of website.
He says, Triple X meets Blade Runner. Far from the worst film of the year and plays quite well as a bare bones genre film. I think it'll find a new lease on life on DVD.
And spoiler alert, it did not.
No.
Also, you can't be a bare bones movie and try to cram that much bullshit into the story.
Exactly.
Ben Mankiewicz did not care for this movie. Ben Mankiewicz from At the Movies simply says, "Skip it aggressively."
I agree.
Aggressively. That's great. Well, Ken Hankey, late great Ken Hankey from the Mountain Express of Asheville, North Carolina. He didn't care much for it either. He writes,
Thank God.
Much mayhem, brawling, dubious CGI, close encounters of the sexual kind. See, he knew what was going on too. I knew. And mystical gibberish ensue. Little of it makes sense. Less of it is exciting. 1.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Fresh review from James Christopher over at The Times UK.
Do the accent.
It's utter codswallop, yet enjoyable if you unplug your brain.
There you go.
That was wonderful. Thank you. My final critic review, I guess, is going to be from Maltland McDonough.
I think it's Maitland McDonough.
I think that's an L. Pretty sure it's an L. Yeah.
I've never heard Maltland. I've heard Maitland before.
Yeah, it's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Okay.
Maltland says, for all its generic qualities, Babylon AD is well acted, briskly paced, and consistently clear. Like Neil Marshall's Doomsday, it's bare bones genre entertainment, no better or worse than it ought to be. That's a positive review, only a 2.5 out of 4 though.
Okay, see what I got here. Anthony Quinn from The Independent in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Writes, Kassovitz creates a grungy dystopia, but the action has the crazed, over-edited ruckus of a death metal video, and the top of international cast is notable only for being miscast. 1 out of 5.
I thought you meant the actor Anthony Quinn. I got excited.
Jordan Mincer over at Variety said, it's a rotten review. It says, a noisier, costlier version of Children of Men, yet lacking that film's socio-political significance and jaw-dropping direction.
Honestly, yeah. Children of Men is the much better version of this movie.
Considerably.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
let's dive on into the snake pit.
All right. Ooh. Okay, well, I'll start off with Raymond E. And Raymond E. says, this movie is good. It is not the best movie ever, but it is really underrated. I am not a Vin Diesel fan, but with the right story, he carries it. And the cinematography is also notable. This is my favorite part because I'm reading it exactly as he wrote it.
Oh, shit.
You portably need an IQ above a houseplant to appreciate this movie.
Ha!
You do not need to love this movie, but it is worth watching. 4 stars. Great job, Raymond.
Okay, well, my first one comes from Garrett D. I can only assume that's Garrett Delahunt from Raising Hope.
Okay.
He writes, the lamest attempt at world building I can think of. Devoid of all originality, stiff acting, dreadful fight sequences, and patchwork of sci-fi elements that come off as gimmicks rather than genre traits. This is possibly Diesel's worst movie, and given his line of working, that's truly saying something. 0.5 out of stars.
Hey. Oh, I can't wait through. I just read the first paragraph. But this is from Brian Ross 03. It says 9 out of 10, Vin at his best. Even though the plot was original, you have to give it that. I thought it was entertaining. Vin was acting at his peak. He did the role of Turok much justice in a Vin Diesel sort of way. There are many reviews that I've read over the web, and frankly, I'm surprised. Call me going against the grain, but I was impressed. I think the problem is that people go into movies with preconceived ideas as to what is, quote-unquote, supposed to happen, according to how their mind sees the trailers and previews. Just sit back and enjoy. Don't look for flaws. Don't expect something that isn't there. TV Guide did have this to say, quote, for all its generic qualities, Babylon AD is well acted, briskly paced, and consistently clear like Neil Marshall's Doomsday. It's bare bones genre entertainment, no better or worse than it ought to be, end quote.
Sounds familiar.
I rest my case. And 26 out of 48 people found that review helpful.
Oh, shit. Not very helpful review.
Nope.
All right. I like that he quoted one of the reviews. That I felt like that was an Inception moment right there. Okay, this one is from Trevor Joseph O. He says, "I really don't understand people's problem with this. I watched it when it first came out, and now for the fourth time, and still love it. The story, direction, and acting are great. It's a fast action sci-fi that has so much going for it. 4 out of stars."
4 times, eh?
4 fucking times.
Oh, I've barely managed 2 in my entire life. So my next one comes from Anna K. I can only assume it's Anna Kendrick.
Sing it.
Sing it? Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Right.
She sings.
I actually liked it a lot, more than the critics and other people that have seen this movie.
Bars.
She gave it 3.5 out of stars.
I really, guys, you can't see this because this is an audio podcast, but Nathan was actually doing the choreography from that Cup song at the same time. It was really, you put a lot of work into that. I'm
on the
impressed.
fly at that too. Like
Yeah.
I know stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah. How do I say this name? All right, from Diaz Spitz. I don't fucking know. This person gave it 10 out of stars. It says a solid review. It's kind of long, so bear with me, folks. But I got to see what a 10 out of 10 review sounds like. All right, that's all capital letters. All of you who know me know I am a huge Vin Diesel fan. So here's a little review on the movie that I saw today and loved. Boring, not intelligent. Now, I've heard tons of hate from people that have seen this film in theaters. Well, today I actually got a chance to sit down and watch the unrated version, which is out on DVD now, and I was really astonished.
Did you write this?
But before I did not. But before I get into that, let me tell you why people who saw it in theaters hated it. 1, it's tough to understand. 2, there's too much fast action and no story. And 3, it has confusing ending. On the extended cut, each one of these issues is looked at and fixed. During the production of the movie, the director of the film and Fox Studios had a fight over the idea of the story, which I can't reveal just yet. As a resolution, Fox bought the script off the director's hands and just changed it and released a 90-minute version of Monkey Juice in theaters. Weak, and people were feeling the pain. Then comes the director's unrated, raw, and uncut version of the film, which has about 15 more minutes and a whole bunch of edits in it. I never saw the 90-minute version, only the 115-minute version, which blew my socks.
115?
Yeah. Let's talk about the film now. Vin starts off as an angry guy living alone in a broken down apartment in Siberia. Is that... Oh, I thought it was Serbia.
I think it was Serbia.
He fucking up, alright. He's a mercenary for hire, and you could probably figure out the subplot here. But then he's assigned a task to protect 2 lovely women. Michelle Yeoh, who can kick serious tail, and this other Russian hottie. It's hottie. And boy, it's a roller coaster the rest of the way. But it's a thinking movie. This is one of those movies that after watching it, you have to think about it. And it all makes sense. I could break it down piece by piece here, but that would ruin the idea. This film is forcing you to think, to understand by the time you reach the end. If you're still confused, call me or message me on this and I'll explain it to you.
Oh.
I do admit that the ending, last 5 minutes of the film, after a grand action sequence, probably the best I've seen so far in a while since Batman, begins to slip and changes courses from intense edge you see to slow down and think. That was weird. This movie is like The Matrix, Children of Men, and all those science fiction classics rolled into one explosive masterpiece. If you're looking for mindless action, then you're better off not watching this movie. But if you're intelligent and like solving puzzles and figuring it out, this movie is for you. I can totally understand it when I listen to a few dialogues in certain areas of the film twice, and it really makes sense to me if I tie the whole film together, not separating the ending from the rest of it, which is a huge mistake people are making. This is an intelligent film, and I'd give it an A-, most definitely. 8 out of 15 people found that review helpful.
What in the world?
115 pissing minutes? What?
Yeah, thanks, Brendan.
Brent, did he leave a phone number? Because he said to call him.
He did.
It sounds to me like he aimed to set up like a 1-800 support number for people who did not quite get the genius of the extended cut of Babylon ADHD.
You've reached the Babylon AD explanation line. If you were confused by the plot, press 1. If the ending threw you for a loop, press 2. What do I press for all? All right. My final audience review here is from Dennis M. I got nothing.
Okay.
Dennis M says, "Fortunately, I watched this movie before reading the reviews. The problem with movie reviewers is they're more interested in using cliches and intelligent-sounding phrases than they are in actually providing a practical review to a movie. 4 stars."
He didn't provide a practical review to this movie at all.
Nope. And that's the problem, everyone, right? Not that the movie's bad. It's the person who reviewed it.
And I'm not going to go into how I could defend this movie and say that it's good. I'm just going to kvetch about the critics who want to use, $5 words.
Oh, they didn't like my movie.
My last one comes from John L. I'm assuming it's John Lennon from the grave. And he writes, I watched it 3 times. That must mean that I liked it. Or there wasn't anything on there that was more tempting.
There you go.
Bought it on Blu-ray. 3.5 out of the stars.
There you go.
That's my terrible Liverpool accent.
Yeah, because usually all our accents are spot on.
The best.
I can't even do a decent Banana Shire upon Hampton accent either. So
it's good. Yeah, it's a good thing you never had to cover for him or anything.
No, that's good. Yeah.
All right, Brent, you got this.
I got you. Emmanuel23 gave it a 9 out of 10. Said underrated movie in brackets extended version.
Of course.
I have just seen a great movie, Babylon AD extended with full Blu-ray detail. If you're into photography and grading, rough edges and detail, this one's for you. The story is interesting and well thought out with a nice level of complicatedness. That's in quotation. I could say it leaves just a few questions, but seeing it again would probably fill in those blanks. I love the sets, moods, landscapes, and journey these 101 minutes set you back for. The acting is very acting is very good. There are Vin Diesel owns the part. He's just great at what he does. Melanie Thierry, I fucking pronounced that. It's perfectly cast as well and looks absolutely stunning. I'm almost forgetting the editing, which is very, very well done. How could anyone cut into this well-edited extended version? No studio execs. Fools! Ha. To conclude, the direction is superb, leaving space for talent, beauty, feeling, and details one easily would overlook in this kind of production. We're not just talking about action here, it's drama as well. And it's obviously brought by someone with a good sense of refinement and detail. I came to this movie expecting nothing, having read 2 bad reviews there, but the opposite is true. This might have been different if I had seen the shortened version, which I never planned to see because the feature I just saw was awesome and close enough to perfection in its genre. And 3 out of 5 people found that helpful.
So, okay. So, am I to understand that there is our 88-minute version that Brendan and I watched, 101 minutes that this fellow watched, and 115 minutes that another fellow watched?
Yeah, I heard that there's like multiple different cuts, because I think they said when I read something about the director, he said that even with the raw and uncut version, there's like another version that's like 15 minutes shorter. So I guess in France or wherever they have the super uncut version.
That's the true. The true Serbian film cut.
That's where Vin Diesel fucking people in the ass.
So anyway,
until blood comes out,
sticks a dick in Gerard Depardieu's face.
And he skull fucks him to death.
And that's when he says, "Depardon."
I live for this shit.
So yeah, maybe you can take our word for it, I guess, or don't.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Well, that being said, Brent, thank you so much for dissecting this pile of turd with us. And speaking of shit, plug your shit. Go for it, my friend.
All right, my shit is over on Twitter at capital H, capital V, capital H, capital P, lowercase iCast, HVH Podcast on Twitter. There's a link with 1D.
1D.
I've been told I have to say that because I just got 1D. But I gotta say that. In the description, there's a Linktree link that has links to everything else. We have a Patreon page over at patreon.com/homevideohustle. $1 tier, $3 tier, or whatever the fuck you want to give us tier. make us watch movies, get full videos, get extra episodes whenever the fuck I can record something. All that good stuff. We got a YouTube page where we post videos every Wednesday. If you want to know what movie we're watching on Friday, you can watch us randomly pick it on Wednesday, because that's how we do. We just throw movies in a bag and we just pick shit. One of my favorite fucking reviews I ever got from somebody is like, yo, I love how y'all watch anything. And that's exactly what I want to do. We watch any fucking thing. And that's like a Serbian film, or The Item, or What Is It, or Microwave Massacre, or all these other movies that Brendan was on. But the best one is still Ghetto Blaster. I think so. I don't know if Brendan agrees with me.
I mean, it does have a scene where he's dressed up as a clown fighting people. So, I mean, come on.
And he gets into it. He's fucking juggling.
Yeah.
He's like got the little squirt gun. He's hype as fuck.
He learned the
in that
whole clown
suit.
business.
Exactly. And then you get to see the main villain get super ventilated at the end with a Uzi, which made me and Brendan like jump up with laughter. But we got episodes that come out every Friday. One day, I'm going to get Brendan and Nathan on there together, and I'll make sure it's a wonderful movie for them to watch. Just like they bring me all their wonderful movies, like Alone in the Dark, and Babylon AD, and Blood Rain, Ford Fairlane.
Serenity.
Serenity. Oh, fuck, I forgot about that one.
Ford Fairlane is a great movie. Changed my mind.
Of all the movies I named, I will give you, that has been the best one, I think. I will give you
What about Joe's Apartment?
Forgot the Cockroach, the Criterion movie. Forgot about that shit. So yeah, all that shit, all their back catalog. And I will say, Brendan and Nathan, that I learned one thing from being with you guys on these podcasts, and is that I am the rules.
So okay, well there you go, guys. If you want to check out Brent's stuff, you got all the information you need, and you even got kind of a taste of the sort of stuff that he covers. And if you checked any of the stuff that we've covered with him, you kind of know where he's at. I got a friend of mine who has something to say. If you guys will just give me one moment, I'll go get him out of the green room. Hello, it's your good friend Montrose Monkington III here, and despite what you might say about this film that you chaps talked about, it's considerably better than the last movie that they watched. I did not care for that whatsoever, but my hatred of Batman Forever aside, I would like to invite you all to my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV. You can also be friends with me on the Facebook group Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends. And finally, if you so wish to, you could tweet at me as well at Montrose III. That's the number 3RD. Thank you. More later.
Hey Montrose, before you go,
what is that?
I had a friend that wanted to holler at you. She was asking if I can give up your contact info, but I said I gotta make sure it's cool with you first.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, so her name is Kelsey Monroe, and she's really interested in speaking with you.
Hey, sure. I don't know who that is.
Well, there's a video that me and Brendan love talking about. There's a whole episode dedicated to it.
I will take my leave of you, you filthy bastards. Goodbye.
But Montrose, she shoots him out of her pussy.
I don't know. No. Mother.
Shit is bananas, man.
Mother Superior, I think you'll need it in here.
What's all this talk about bananas?
They're great. They're nutritious. They're full of potassium. I'm kind of actually allergic to them, but they're still wonderful.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I can't believe Montrose narked you out like that.
Just snitching.
Right?
Wow.
Around where I come from, you get shot for that shit.
Anyhow. So... what's that?
Sorry, I was just saying, before we go any further, I just want to give a hint for next week. Summer Schlockbusters season continues, and here is my hint, my very brief hint. Hello.
That's it?
That's it. Very good. Yeah.
So there's your hint for the movie next week. Please continue, Nathan.
Well, I was going to say that Brent has managed to plug all of his shit, and Montrose was able to kind of plug his shit, and Brendan, I'll defer to you to plug our shit.
I can plug our shit.
I feel you kind of got it down, like memorized in just a sick thing that is a muscle memory. You just blurt it right out on demand.
What were they thinking? You can find us on all the podcast apps. Of course, our home base is, much like Brent, our home base is Age of Radio.
Big time!
We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. We're on patreon.com/WWTT Podcast, Redbubble, TeePublic, all that good stuff. So, Nathan, do you want to know maybe what we're watching?
I do have that question. I figured we'd get all that stuff out of the way, and then we could just kind of have this kind of relaxed thing before we send it all out. But we are doing this thing, where we're just kind of giving people some suggestions to check out some stuff that we've been checking out while we wind down this pandemic in places that are, at varying degrees of going to green and loosening restrictions and stuff. But until all that's all said and done, I'm kind of curious, Brent, what are you watching, bud?
Well, I'm actually watching a lot of stuff lately, but the most fun one I could talk about is it could probably be on y'all podcast, but have you ever seen Sleepaway Camp?
Yes. And the sequels.
No. Have you seen 4 and 5?
I've not seen 4 and 5.
I found those. I had to fucking do a Brendan and go deep into the depths to find them, but I did find them. And they suck, so don't waste your time.
Okay.
But no, friend of mine, huge Sleepaway Camp fan.
Which are words not a lot of people say.
I'm a fan too, I can't lie. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw there's a theater here called the Grandview Draft House. And they had a showing of Sleepaway Camp on the big screen, and they actually had Felissa Rose there in person doing a Q&A. And so I got to watch Sleepaway Camp with a crowd full of drunk motherfuckers that were constantly yelling at the screen, and it was fantastic.
Wonderful.
Delightful.
So if you ever see Sleepaway Camp, watch it, and don't let nobody spoil the ending for you.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, don't look up anything. Don't even Google it.
No.
Just the first thing that'll pop up.
Just watch it. Brendan, you son of a bitch. What are you watching, bud?
What am I watching, bud? I watched that new Bo Burnham special, Bo Burnham Inside, where he did an entire stand-up special in his home during over the course of the pandemic. He filmed it over the course of a year and some change, I think. It's basically a comedy special, but again, he had to produce, edit, write, direct, pretty much just him. I think his wife, he lives with his wife or his partner or whatever, and I believe she also helped work on it. And, he had some people towards the end, but basically just did it all. And it's a very... I wouldn't say I mean, there are parts that are kind of depressing at times, but I wouldn't say it's a depressing thing. It's a very funny special because, there's comedy bits and everything, but it's almost like, just like you feel like kind of a release because you're like watching someone dealing with, mental health during the pandemic at the same time. And you just kind of feel like someone is kind of right there with you feeling similar things as we all have during various points of this thing. So I would recommend it highly, and I know everyone's been talking about it anyway, but it's on Netflix, so check it out. Bo Burnham Inside.
Okay, cool. Well,
what about you, bud?
Well, me, I actually have recently been watching rewatching my collection of the Happy Tree Friends.
Oh shit!
I don't know if how many people. I'm assuming if you're listening to our show, you're probably familiar in some way, shape, or form with this cartoon. But it's a bunch of just delightfully cute characters who murder, maim, and dismember each other in the most hilarious ways. Every episode, there's no consequences. It's like if Itchy and Scratchy were a real thing. I first found out about them at the Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation, which is where I also found out about Dr. Tran, but that's another story for another day. I do recommend, there's a bunch of their cartoons on YouTube if you can't get a hold of the collection. But if you want to just watch some really demented, demented things happen to a bunch of cute, delightful critters, Happy Tree Fence is the way to go.
There you go.
It's back to my OG4 days right there. Brought back memories. I forgot about that shit.
But Brent, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on
for
the
making
show.
me watch Babylon AD.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for
the
that.
Extended cut.
Yeah. The raw and uncut
right,
version.
The raw and uncut version.
I got to see Vin Diesel fucking the shit out that girl for an hour and a half.
Goodness. I guess I do have some questions though before we wrap this thing up.
Okay, I think considering the fact that Brent was the one who watched the raw and uncut version, that we should actually direct our questions towards him.
Okay. So Brent, in a movie in which you got to watch the extended cut and which assumes that you know all the answers to all of our questions about the hanging plot threads, what are they? Nathan, do you have questions?
Well, I do, but in a movie where they obviously ponied up some dough for international superstars like Charlotte Rampling and Gerard Depardieu, but hardly ever use them.
Brent, in a movie where how are babies made?
Well, Brendan, you know.
But before you get to that, in a movie where Kid and That has apparently a multi-leveled international airport that can do a jet flight of a couple of hours to New York,
and in a movie where what is the meaning of life?
Well, Brendan.
But also in a movie where Vin Diesel is absolutely Joseph, and I'm pretty sure he fucked the Virgin Mary. I think we just have to ask, what were they thinking?
I don't fucking know.